Hello and welcome to ITC TechShare. I'm Tom Grissom. Today I'd like to do an overview of the original Surface RT that has recently been updated to Windows 8.1. If you were an early adopter of the Surface RT tablet, I would highly recommend you upgrade to 8.1 as it really has solved a lot of the performance issues. To begin with, I can tell this is Windows 8.1 because we have the large tile size. This was not available in 8.0. This is the desktop icon, so if I press that tile, that will take me to my desktop, and you'll see it looks somewhat like Windows 7 where I have the familiar taskbar at the very bottom. The RT version does not run x86 programs, however they have ported Microsoft Office 2013 over, so you can see that I have Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote pinned to my taskbar down here. So if I'm doing Word documents, let me just open up Word just to show you the speed that's available on the RT. This opens up Microsoft Word 2013. Let's just do a blank document, and while I'm here, let me just change the font size to something a little bit larger so you can see. Just go down here, let me just spin this around so I can type. So this is the Surface RT running Windows 8.1. So you can see, very easy. I have the type cover. They also make the touch cover. I much prefer the type cover because the keys actually give. You can use an optional stylus or you can use your finger, but the stylus will give you a little bit more precision. So I'm going to go out to the Review tab. Since this is Word, it supports inking. So if I go to Review, Start Inking, this will bring up my Draw menu. And now then, it also turns into where I can annotate or highlight. So this is extremely helpful for teachers or students taking notes and wanting to annotate, draw some things freehand so you can see, or if you're taking notes and you need to draw some three-dimensional object, you can come out here. So you can see that this essentially can be a whiteboard. I can save this as a Word document and include the annotations, or I can discard them, or I can save it as a PDF file and then email it off to a student for corrections. So very handy feature. Annotations work in Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So let me close this. Let me click the red X. Do I want to save? No. Let's say don't save. Now to get back to the start screen, many different ways to do that. I can press the Windows flag key on the actual tablet itself, and that will take me to the start screen. If I press it again, it takes me to the last thing I had open, in this case the desktop. You will also notice that I have a Windows flag on the keyboard, the Windows key. So if I press that Windows key, it takes me to the start screen. Press the Windows key again, it takes me back to the desktop. You will also notice in 8.1 I have the Windows flag back in the lower left-hand corner. So if I press the Windows flag down there, that will take me there. If I press the Windows flag again, it takes me back to the desktop. And then a fourth way, since this is a tablet, let me get rid of the keyboard. This is a magnetic keyboard, very easy to use, snaps on, snaps off very easily. So you can hear the click in. It's very solid, stays connected very, very well. So let me pull that off since I'm finished with that. And then the kickstand is another feature. Once you use a tablet with a kickstand, you're lost without it. So just simply snaps in and you can just snap it back out. The newer model, the Surface 2, actually has another position that will recline this even further. But this is the original, so we'll stick with this one. Let's see, let's go ahead and go back to the start screen. I'm holding this in landscape mode, and Windows 8 uses an Edge UI, so if you could think of a 1-pixel imaginary border going around all the outside along the bezel. Since it's an Edge UI, that means whenever you swipe your finger from the edge, it will bring up different functions. So let me swipe in with my thumb from the right-hand side, break that little 1-pixel border, and that brings up my charms bar. So from here I can do search, share, go to the start screen, devices, or go to settings. Okay, very easy to do. I just swipe in, break that border. Okay. On the left-hand side, if I swipe in, I'm going to use my finger here. If I swipe in, I can actually bring up all the different applications. So this is multitasking in the background. So here are the podcasts. This is our Tech Talk for Teachers podcast. If you've not subscribed, please do. One of the podcasts we do here at the ITC. Let's swipe on through. Here's the desktop, swipe through. But it's a very natural, if I put my thumbs up here to hold a tablet like I would in landscape mode, I can very quickly with my thumb just cycle through. And you can see the speed improvements on the Surface RT. So it's very fast and smooth. If I break the border just about a ½ inch and bring it back, that will bring up what's called Task Manager. So if I want to go immediately to my podcast, I can. Let me go back here to the start screen and let's open up another app. Let's open up the weather app. I want to have something else out here. So I just went out, updated. So this is the latest weather information. So now then, if I swipe through all the different things, you can see I now have the weather app available to me as well. So you can see all the different the radar and everything available to me there. But if I bring it in, bring it back, like I said, just break that border about a ½ inch and bring it back in. And now if I want to jump immediately to my travel app, I can jump there. Really though, I mean, this is so fast anymore that it's just as easy just to cycle through. If you only have a half dozen or fewer apps open, you can just very quickly cycle through this way. Now while I'm in the Bing Travel app, let me just show you something else that's kind of neat. You go out here, do some of the different destinations and things. So let's go to Miami, Florida. And they've made panoramas. This is, you know, a little bit of local history, some maps and things if you were visiting the Miami area. Photos. They do things called panoramas. So let me just come up here and let's go to the Cape Florida deck. And if we bring this up, this is a 360-degree panorama. So if I it's like looking through a window. I don't know if you can tell that on the camera or not, but let me put up the kickstand. Look down, we can look back up, so I can go up to the sky, go around, or if I leave it stationary, put the stand back down here, I can move with my finger. You can even pinch and zoom in, zoom back out, do some of the different you know, just take a look around whatever your vacation spot is if you're lucky enough to get a panorama picture available to you there. Now to get back, I can click this little back arrow, or to close out an application, if I drag down from the top to the bottom, so once again I'm starting off the bezel, going down through and then pulling that down, that actually closes the application out. So let me come up here, let me just close podcast. So once again, just bring it down and toss it all the way down to the bottom. My finger's breaking the plane, that 1 pixel border there all the way. Let's go back to the weather, and then I can close that out. So now then, I just have the desktop and going back to the start screen. The other very nice feature for teachers, USBs. If you have a digital camera that you're taking SD card videos of, one of the problems with other tablets, it's difficult to share information back and forth. But if you have just a regular USB, the Surface RT supports USB 2.0. The newer Surfaces do support the version 3.0. But let me just come up here. There is a port. I don't know if you can see there, a little bit dark. But I can plug this in. And another huge feature, if I go back to my desktop, I actually have a file manager. So this looks very much familiar. If you use Windows, I can go out here to my flash drive, open it up, and there you see what's available. Let me just close this out. Don't need that anymore. And then let's just go back to the start screen. So we'll wrap it up here. You see many of the different features and things. We have the desktop available to us, many applications, Photours, a photo editing app, Skype, you can do Skype sessions, Sketchbook Express as an artist, you can do Kindle, Audible, many different applications now in the store, so it's not the problem that it used to be whenever the Surface RT first came out. So that's just it. It's a quick overview of the Surface RT running Windows 8.1.